And last but not least, our closing speaker and also TEDx Keystone organizer, Zhao.
So on the day of the Mid-Autumn Festival in 2019, my family and I sat around the living room to celebrate the occasion. Really, the moon, which by our folktales is supposed to be the roundest it could be for the entire year, was nowhere to be seen. It was not until my little sister broke silence and yelled, "I saw the moon," did we attempt to find it. We went out to patio to confirm her discovery. We look around the sky, but the only thing we can see is a pitch-dark curtain. So I knelt down to ask her where the moon was. At that moment, before I could mutter a single word, I twisted my head, and there the moon was, glowing brightly in the sky as it has always been for the entire night. We soon realized what had happened. As rather tall individuals, none of us could see the moon because the patio roof has blocked it from our view. Only my little sister, who is much younger and therefore much shorter than I am, can see the moon. This just goes to show that no matter how desperate you are to grow, develop, and mature, we must never forget to acknowledge our perspective, especially the youth's ones. Here, in honor of the amazing student and faculty speakers of today, I present to you the art of being a teenager. What is the art of being a teenager? You may wonder. It just seems like a weird stage in your life. Well, I totally agree with that, because you see these three words to conclude the stage, which is being a teenager, the life is messy and is confusing and is often misunderstood by the others. But why is this cause? It's because we are trying to be mature. Ever since we stepped into the 14 years old benchmark, we were told to be mature in many different ways, directly or indirectly. Indirectly from societal problems, like anxiety, puberty, like the hormone changes, and the relationship problems that we face every day. On top of all of this, we were expected to deal with all these problems in a rational way. But as a natural response, we tried to be mature, or at least what we thought was mature, which is basically fake matureness. From the way we act, we react, we talk, or from the way that we disdain younger kids for their actions as if we weren't doing the exact same thing a year ago. We try to be mature, or at least what we thought was mature. But then this causes a problem. What I'm presenting to you today is, despite all of this, if you leave your teenage years being young and naive, it will become one of the best stages of your life. And that is why should we work hard to embrace it. Stop being who you are not and stop trying to be mature. At this stage, our naive selves are interesting. Just the right stage for exploration and discovery. We develop colorful personalities and diverse interests as a byproduct of our immense curiosity. The students you see on the stage today each presented us their insights to their distinctive fields. But even that genuine display of passion is just a small portion of their personality. What I'm saying is not that adults are boring, sorry, but then rather the fact that in this very ingenious moment of our lives, it's when we let our identities thrive and dive into our interest. But apart from all of this in terms of interest, what's the most interesting about being a teenager is our impactful position in today's world. One where we are responsible for standing together against injustice and global challenges. I think that we are scared to admit that, but I'm gonna say it. We, in this stage of our life, we truly believe that we are the ones that are most capable of creating change. And that is why we we have a moral duty to fulfill and tries our best to become pioneers in each distinctive field by breaking the norms. I would like to compare it to the Age of Enlightenment, which we are basically trying to create change with everything and anything that we do. And this is why we may display a sense of duty when we're talking, or why we may seem rather foolish to parents and teachers. Even though this may be deemed young and naive by the majority grown-ups surrounding us, we are actually very proud to speak our minds and do the things that we find most purposeful. It is obvious that at this point that the art of being a teenager lies upon our courage, curiosity, impulse, unyielding drive, and intrinsic motivation, all of which not something that a mature teenager should do. So next time, when someone tells you to grow up, consider this. The art of being a teenager relies on being young and being naive. It is a sense of yosu that allows you to put aside our daily quibbles and trivial disagreements amongst each other to fulfill our destinies. Nonetheless, it is a wonderful support of our back supporters, which are our parents and teachers. Can we do things that we want? Honestly, the adult Bella may not have the courage to do the things I do today, but I will not regret it, despite the embarrassment and the cringe I feel when looking at this passion in the endeavors I do today. All of this is the art of being a teenager.